Questions?
Erik, you've been talking for a few days about getting that best game, getting to your game. How close was this on both ends of the court to getting to that best game?
Well, certainly there's much more to how we want to play, and the start helped. We came out with a tremendous amount of energy, and that was on both ends of the court. And it wasn't just about making shots. It was working the offense, even some of the ones that we missed. But the guys were expending a lot of energy to get after defensively, and they had to make a lot of subs in the first half, and that's what's required in this series, that we go a little bit deeper in the bench. Guys play till their tank is empty to be able to impact the game the way we need it to be.
Erik, when did you know that Chris Andersen wouldn't play tonight, and what went into the decision for Charlotte to start?
I had a little bit of a feeling last night, but he kept on saying that he was going to play. Even during the afternoon, he said he was going to play. But, you know, those injuries are tricky. He wanted to fight through it. But his range of motion in his thigh isn't great right now, and he just was able to spend about 10, 12 hours on treatment on it. He's been dealing with a lot of minor things, and this was the one thing that we didn't allow him to play through. So we'll see how he feels tomorrow. But it was definitively a late decision, but I had a feeling last night.
It was 3 hours ago, so I apologize. But just laying out the whole scheme of it, how critical were those opening minutes from Chris to both get him going and maybe, in turn, get everybody kind of a little bit settled down and settled in? Yeah,
the one cool thing about it was his teammates were real aggressive to try to get him going. And, you know, that's nice to see. When your brothers are wanting to be aggressive and look for opportunities. You could see it, even though we ran maybe a couple actions, the rest of it was those four other guys trying to create an action for him to get some airspace. But he was engaged and active on both ends of the court. And he can impact. And, you know, I hate the storylines of the last few days because Chris has to do a lot of those things that people don't understand for our game to work, and he gets criticized for that. But he impacts the game in so many winning ways that the average eye doesn't necessarily see. But for him to make some shots and feel good about his game on that side of the floor certainly was nice.
Just talking about LeBron's aggressiveness offensively today, a lot of drives to the basket, not a lot of jumpers.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I made a play call for him tonight. Maybe one post up where we called it, but the rest of it was just within the context of what we do. And he was finding gaps and opportunities to be aggressive where he was ahead of the play, but it wasn't necessarily just clear everybody out and let me just attack 1-on-5. So he understood that we needed to get off to a good start, one, and then two, that he is our best attacker, and that's important for us to be able to try to dictate this game and this series, and he's our best way to be able to impact that at the rim and in the paint.
Do you think the Stevenson thing sparked him at all?
No. I think more of a factor was that we've gotten off to 3 poor starts, and it's really affected us, during the course of the game.
Erik, how did you determine to go with Rashard Lewis, and what do you feel like he gave you today?
Again, I loved his stat line. I get a kick out of it. I think it's great. Zeros all the way across the board, and he's a plus 14. As soon as I found out, I went up right to him and told him that. And it's just, there's so many different ways to impact the game to win. And he understands that. So we wanted to maintain a little bit of our rotation while losing Bird, that we would just move UD into that slot.
The moves you've made in the starting lineup and playing Norris Cole so much and things like that, do you feel like some of those have been risks, or have those been the obvious moves to you?
No, nothing's ever obvious in the playoffs. Look, it's competition, and you're just trying to figure a series out as it goes. And sometimes things go in your favor, and sometimes they don't. But collectively, you have to figure it out. And we have a group that's committed to sacrificing to understand the big picture. And we need, in this series in particular, probably more so than any other series that we've played in, we have to go deeper into our bench. It's critical. Okay, thank you.